Good morning everyone. Myself Dr. Trina Dotto, Assistant Professor Chemistry Department, JIS College of Engineering. Today I will tell about control of air pollution. That is the last part of module 2, air pollution and control. And if you have any doubt, then you can communicate in my contact number or you can mail to me. So this is the environmental science subject code MC301 for odd semester and MC401 for even semester. This course is for undergraduate BTech students. The streams are CSE, IT, Civil, Mechanical, Electrical, EC and BAB. This is the non-credited mandatory course and the prerequisite knowledge required 11-12 standards. The course page are given here. This is my site and this is the blend space code. The study material are uploaded here. So you can see it anytime, anywhere. So what is the objective of this lecture? The objective of control of air pollution to develop idea to control particulate matter or flue gas emission. To develop idea about working principle of different controlling devices like baghouse, cyclone separator, scrubber, catalytic converter, electrostatic precipitator. To develop idea about advantages and disadvantages of the controlling devices. So what is air pollution control? Air pollution control is the techniques employed to reduce or eliminate the emission into the atmosphere of substances that can harm the environment or human health. So, different toxic elements are there in the environment. Already we have learned it before. Like there are different pollutants you have learned like primary pollutants, CO, CO2, SO2, NO2. All these are primary pollutants which are coming directly from the industry or automobile exhaust. And the secondary pollutants like ozone, formaldehyde, PAN, all these are secondary pollutants. And you have also learned the criteria pollutants. These are like 6 criteria pollutants are there. Carbon monoxide, NO2, SO2, ozone, lead and particulate matter. So all these are toxic hazardous substances, pollutants which are coming from different sources in the air. So control means to reduce or eliminate the emission of all these substances into the atmosphere. So what is the importance? Importance is reducing pollutant in the air is important for human health and environment. Poor air quality has harmful effects on human health, particularly the respiratory and cardiovascular system. So you understand very well, if we inhale the toxic air, then not only the oxygen, different toxic hazardous gases also will come along with oxygen and it will create health hazard. It will affect our respiratory tract, cardiovascular system. Pollutants can also damage plants and buildings, and smoke or haze can reduce visibility. So not only human being, pollutants will affect overall environment. So control of air pollution. how we can control. The most effective method of controlling air pollution is definitely to prevent the formation of air pollutant or reduce their emission at the source itself. This can be achieved by using pure grade material, modifying the process of formation as well as technologies. So, main purpose is we have to remove the source. So what is the source? The emissions of the different toxic gases. So we have to either eliminate or reduce the emission of all these gases. So in this way, we can control the air pollution. So how we can reduce the emission? So we know that most of the automobiles or industrial like power generation, all these are fossil fuel based, and as the fossil fuel contains carbon, hydrogen, so after its burning we get CO2, H2O vapor, and if it contains like nitrogen, sulfur, so we get oxides of sulfur, oxides of nitrogen. So we can reduce the emission. How? By avoid using vehicles. People should avoid using vehicles for shorter distances. Rather, they should prefer public mode of transport to travel from one place to another. This is not only prevents pollution but also conserve energy. So we can reduce the use of vehicle. If we reduce the use of vehicle, the use of fossil fuel will be reduced. Basically petrol, diesel, all these are fossil fuels. Second, energy conservation. A large number of fossil fuels are burned to generate electricity. Our electricity power supply are mainly based on carbon, fossil fuel based. Therefore, do not forget to switch off the electrical appliances when not in use. Thus, you can save the environment at the individual level. Use of energy efficient devices such CFLs also controls pollution to a greater level. Use of clean energy resources. So another, what we can do? We cannot stop completely the use of vehicle. So we can use alternative energy resource instead of fossil fuel. To use solar, wind and geothermal energies reduce air pollution at a larger level. Various countries including India have implemented the use of these resources as a step towards a cleaner environment. So in this way, we can eliminate or reduce the emission of toxic hazardous gases into the atmosphere. But the emission cannot be controlled fully. As the emission cannot be controlled fully, few emissions will be there. So the pollution control device we can use for this. As the emission cannot be controlled fully, so pollution control devices should be used. So there are different controlling devices like baghouse, cyclone separator, scrubber, catalytic converter, electrostatic precipitator. So now I will tell one by one their working principle, advantage, disadvantage, application, etc. Baghouse dust collector. A baghouse, also known as baghouse filter, bag filter or fabric filter, is an air pollution control device and dust collector that removes particulates or gas released from commercial processes out of the air. So this is the baghouse. You can see that it is in the industry. So it is basically dust collector and it can collect approximately 1 micrometer diameter of particles, very small sized particle. Baghouse application: power plants, steel mills, pharmaceutical producers, food manufacturers, chemical producers and other industrial companies often use baghouse to control emission of air pollutants. Baghouses came into widespread use in the late 1970s after the invention of high temperature fabrics. So basically the filters are made of fabrics. So if it is temperature resistant, then it will be highly useful. So it can capable of withstanding 350 degree Fahrenheit temperature. The working principle. So you can see the figure. Baghouse contains a large number of with several compartments containing fabric filter bags. So here the several compartments with fabric filter bags. The bags are distributed such a way when one compartment is under operation, other can be cleaned. So if these compartments are in use, other compartments can be cleaned. Dust-laden gas or air enters the baghouse through hoppers and is passed through the bags and the dust particles are trapped. So here you can see the figure, the dusty airs entering in this side. Now it is going upward direction through the filter bags. So through this bag all the dust particle will be screened. Then clean air will go out and the dust will precipitate down when it will combine together, accumulates, and the particle size will be higher, the weight will be heavier, then due to the gravitational force it will come down. So it is the dust outlet. Advantages: highly efficient. Collection of particles size is approximately 1 micrometer. That means very fine particle it can separate. Versatile and flexible for many applications. Disadvantages: it is expensive, attacked by corrosive chemicals, cannot operate under moist conditions. Next is cyclone separator. So here you can see the figure. Cyclone separator is a method of removing particles from an air, gas or liquid stream. Industrial cyclones are used in pollution control applications, most commonly as a first stage, lower cost method for removing large particulate matter from effluent gas stream. So cyclone separator cannot remove very fine particle like 1 micrometer. It can remove above 5 micrometer particles. Working principle: a cyclone is a centrifugal separator in which particles, due to their mass, are pushed to their outer edges as the result of centrifugal force. The particles which are present in the air are forced to the outer edges and leave the separator via a collection device fitted to the bottom of the separator. So now follow this figure. This is the inlet, gas inlet. That means the gas with dust particle or other pollutants will enter this side. After that, this will move like a cyclone. And during this movement, due to the centrifugal force, the dust particles will be accumulated at the surface of the cyclone separator. And the clean gas will go outside at the top. And when these particles will be accumulated and its size will be higher, that means it will become heavier. So due to the gravitational force, it will come down. And this one is the particle outlet. Advantages: construction is very simple. Initial cost as well as maintenance cost is low. Continuous disposal of solid particles is its biggest advantage. Disadvantage: low collection efficiency for particles below 5 micrometer in diameter. So it can remove the particle, the size is above 5 micrometer. So it cannot remove like 1 micrometer diameter particle like baghouse. Scrubber. A scrubber system is a system that is used to remove harmful materials from industrial exhaust gases before they are released into the environment. Scrubber is used for removal of SO2 from the flue gas. So it is mainly used for the sulfur dioxide. When it is coming from the industrial exhaust, so scrubber is used and it will convert. So there are two types of scrubber: wet method and dry method. Two types. Pulverized limestone CaCO3 is mixed with water. Slurry is made and sprayed into the flue gases. Chemical reaction produces calcium sulfite and precipitate it out. The precipitate is removed as a sludge, which is later used in the construction industry. So here you follow this figure. So here you can see the gas inlet. Gas means the gas with the sulfur dioxide, which contains sulfur dioxide or which contain pollutant. It is entering this side, and this is the spray. The slurry is spraying above, and it contains, in the wet method, it contains, I told, calcium carbonate. Then it will combine with SO2, and as you can see the reaction, that it will form calcium sulfide. Then the clean gas will move upward direction. So in this way scrubber works. This is the dry method. In this process, lime calcium oxide is used for removal of sulfur dioxide. So here the process is similar. So you can see the reaction CaO plus SO2 plus H2O, we get calcium sulfide. So it precipitates down. So we are collecting the sludge. So sludge disposal is a great concern. We cannot throw it here and there. If we dump under soil, it will again create pollution. So generally we can use it for the construction industry. So advantage is highly efficient, nearly 95%. Disadvantages, it can only be used for removal of sulfur dioxide, and expensive to the use of lime. Lime is costly. That is the catalytic converter. So you can see the picture, catalytic converter, which is attached with the IC engine, internal combustion engine, like petrol engine, diesel engine, all the cars we can attach. So a catalytic converter is an exhaust emission control device that reduces toxic gases and pollutants in exhaust gas from an internal combustion engine into less toxic pollutants by catalyzing a redox reaction. Redox means where the oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously. So in the catalytic converter, we get two types of reaction, oxidation and reduction. So catalytic converters are usually used with internal combustion engine. What I already told, IC engines, that means internal combustion engine, fueled by either gasoline or diesel. There are gasoline or petrol engine or diesel engine, including lean burn engine as well as kerosene heaters and stoves. So how it works? It is the working principle. Typically there are two different catalysts in a catalytic converter. One of them tackles nitrogen oxide pollution using a chemical process called reduction. The other catalyst works by an opposite chemical process called oxidation. So one part is reduction, another part is oxidation, and turns the carbon monoxide into carbon dioxide. So when the carbon monoxide comes from the automobile exhaust, it will be converted into carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is less toxic than carbon monoxide. If oxides of nitrogen comes, then it will be converted into atmospheric nitrogen. So nitrogen, there is no harm, but nitrogen, oxides of nitrogen is very harmful. So basically it converts the gases into the less harmful gases. So here the reactions are given for reduction and oxidation. So in the reduction process, oxides of nitrogen will be converted into nitrogen, and in the oxidation process, carbon monoxide will be converted into carbon dioxide, and the hydrocarbons, if unburned hydrocarbons comes out, that also will be converted into H2O and carbon dioxide, because in the oxidation process it will react with oxygen and converted into CO2 and H2O. Advantages: it reduces the amount of harmful pollution produced by vehicles. Faster reaction, easy replaceable. But disadvantages: decreased horsepower engine, uses more energy for the converter. Catalysts require some time to start its action, and they are very expensive to get. Electrostatic precipitator, a device that removes suspended dust particles from a gas or exhaust by applying a high voltage electrostatic charge and collecting the particles on charge plates. It is the commonly used device for air pollution control. They are used in industries like steel plants, thermal energy plants. So here we use the charge plates like anode and cathode, and then we remove the particles. So there are broad area of applications like two-stage plate ESPs are used in the engine rooms or shipboard as the gearbox producers oil mist which is flammable in nature. The collected oil is reused in gear lubricating system. Dry ESPs are used in thermal plants to clean the air in ventilation and air controlling system. They find applications in the medical field for the removal of bacteria and fungus. They are used in zirconium sand for detaching the rutile plants. They are used in metallurgical industries to clean the blast. So there are versatile applications for electrostatic precipitator. The working principle of the electrostatic precipitator is moderately simple. It consists of two sets of electrodes, one positive, another negative. The negative electrodes are in the form of a wire mesh and the positive electrodes are in the form of plates. These electrodes are vertically placed and are alternate to each other. To ionize the medium between the negative and positive electrode, a certain distance is maintained between the positive negative electrode and the DC source, resulting in a high voltage gradient. So how it works? The gas is entering this side through these plates, through these anodes and cathodes, and there are lots of free electron inside, and there is an interaction with the electron with the dust particles and ionized. So there are plenty of free electron as electrodes are ionized, which interact with the dust particles of the gas, making them negatively charged. These particles move toward positive electrode and fall off due to gravitational force. Now the flue gas is free from the dust particle as it flows through the electrostatic precipitator and discharges to the atmosphere through the chimney. So by the corona discharge, what happens that all these flue gas are discharged and the clean gas will go out directly to the atmosphere. Advantages of electrostatic precipitator. The durability of the ESP is high. It can be used for the collection of both dry and wet impurities. It has low operating costs. The collection efficiency of the device is high even for a small particles. It can handle large gas volumes and heavy dust loads at low pressures. Disadvantages of electrostatic precipitator: can't be used for gasoline emission, space requirement is more, capital investment is high, not adaptable to change in operating conditions. Now it is assignment for you. Mention the devices to control particulate matter or flue gas emission. So you have learned many devices like baghouse, cyclone separator, scrubber, electrostatic precipitator, catalytic converter. So you can mention the names. Now write down the working principle of different controlling devices. So you have to give a figure, then you have to describe the working principle, that means how it works. Next, write down the advantages and disadvantages of controlling devices. So also you have learned the application of all the devices and their advantages and their disadvantages. So if we summarize what you have learned the working principle of different controlling devices, application of the air pollution controlling devices, advantages and disadvantages of the air pollution controlling devices. And this is your assignment, home assignment. Write down the working principle, advantages and disadvantages of different air pollution controlling devices. So you have learned for 5 devices. You can write in the word form or PPT. Then you create a lesson in the blank space and then upload your PPT. Then share with my code. Then I can evaluate. I can see, I can check and evaluate. So these are all references. These books are available in the library. You can consult these books, and the digital content I have uploaded, you can go through for more knowledge. Thank you.